My mother opened her room and guess who she found in bed with my father? Her best friend. My mom shouted in disbelief. Her friend replied her saying, "He was mine first. I saw him first." Here is my tale worth telling. My parents were married for about 12 years before they separated. I had 2 sisters, my younger sister Fumi and the baby of the house, Dami. My father was the best, very calm and kind, very generous to a fault. He's the ideal father. He paid our fees long before they were due. He did not discipline us with pain, only with words. And sometimes his words were even deeper than the cane. He was an awesome dad. He loved his wife too. I remember when we were smaller, my mom would cook his favorite meal and he would give her money, thanking her again for the food that he had already paid for. He always came back with gifts for us and her when he traveled on his work trips. His only problem was women. Because of this, the peace in our home was always interrupted. My mother could not tolerate it. She would pack her stuff ready to leave. Daddy would beg deep into the night. I remember one time he woke me up. "Piola, Piola," he shouted. "Your mother wants to go. Come and beg her." And I would jump down from the double bunk I shared with my younger sister and run to beg my mom. "Please, mom, don't go. Please, mom, forgive him." Mom would look into my eyes and stop crying. Dad would be on his knees, swearing that it will never happen again. Mom would believe him and the peace will be restored back in our paradise. Only for 2 months later, we'll be back to this position. Mom would tell me, "Biola, it is because of you all that I haven't left. I don't want all of you to suffer in the hands of another woman. He wasn't this way when we got married. Even when he got his oil servicing job, I think that's when he began to change. They say you always know a true character of a man when he has money." I really didn't want her to leave. Everything was perfect. Everything except for this problem, his desire for women. My mom is very pretty and intelligent and she was specializing in pediatrics. We were so proud of her. Dad would buy different car gifts for her to celebrate her exams when she passed. So I will say we were a happy family till mom makes another discovery. It got to a point that mom had to report him to his family. I remember my father's elder brother scolding my mother and telling her to stop checking his phone. What you don't know will not affect you. At least you are the wife at home. It is you that we know. If he goes around town, he'll still come back to you. At least you're enjoying his money. My mother replied to Uncle Jimo in a harsh tone, "Money is not everything. If I don't check his phone, how will I know? Is it until he infects me with a disease and I'm taking unawares that I'll check? I am a doctor and every time I'm always scared of contacting one infection or the other. Please, sir, talk to your brother. I don't want to die young. I have young children. Tell him to stop." Immediately he jumped in. "Oh, what will you do, Miriam? I ask you, what will you do? My brother is an African man, so he can marry as many wives as he wants. Did he sign a contract with you when you got married that he will only marry one wife? Are you the first person to marry a cheating man? It rains everywhere, my dear. You have to endure. Your Bible says you should have patience, and if patience is not enough, you should have long suffering. Only you cannot satisfy my brother. You cannot cage him down. If you are suspecting infection, then maybe you should check yourself." What? My mother was livid. "What do you mean, Uncle Jimo? Are you accusing me of anything? I came to you to report your brother, and this is what you are telling me. Oh my goodness." "Calm down," he said. "There is no way out for you. You have married my brother, and this is your cross that you must carry. Why do you think that they say marriage is better for us? I saw the latest car he bought for you. Drive it and forget about this thing you are saying." And he dismissed my mom saying, "There are so many women waiting to take your place." However, their love continued. Things were calm. In retrospect, I think Dad was being careful and he didn't want to get caught. The final straw was when Auntie Julia started coming to our house frequently. Auntie Julia was Mom's best friend and a classmate from primary school. They were very, very close. Sadly, Auntie Julia has been divorced twice. The funny thing is, Both marriages didn't last up to a year. I don't know what happened. I can't remember clearly, but I know she came to our house crying to mom, telling her something. And mom was saying, Julia, you need to have patience. Yes, I also knew that marriage required patience. Mom has been kind to Auntie Julia and she was always welcome in our home, but these periods her visits became more frequent and she started coming when mom was on night shift. She would come around 9 p.m. and say she was hungry and she would proceed to cook a whole meal in our kitchen. My dad would just stay with her and they'll keep gisting till we the kids went to bed. It seemed odd to me. Auntie Julia always came with a new uncle. Many times she came for Christmas celebration at our house. I remember mom meeting one that came last Christmas and she called Julia aside and said, Julie, this guy is okay. Why not settle down with him? And I was shocked when Auntie Julie said, what is okay about him? He can't even untie Debo's shoelace. Mom laughed it off and said, no use Debo measure men. No one is perfect. I know, said Julia, but I still want something better. And after the holiday, we never saw that uncle again. I was fast asleep, having sweet dreams, when I heard my mom shout, Julie, so this is who you are. Mom came in at 4 a.m. from work and met them on their bed. She thundered again, Julia, so you fit do me like this? She faced my dad. Debo, well done, you have done your worst. Dad was shocked. Mom had found both of them in the room fast asleep on their matrimonial bed. Mom was supposed to return at 6 a.m. Why would Auntie Julia do this? Julia, you can't mind do this to me. Mom continued saying. Daddy said, Light, calm down. He was pleading. And she shouted, Debo, please leave me alone. Don't talk to me. So you no see anybody again. Now Julia that is like my sister. Oh my goodness. I could feel the pain in mom's voice. And Auntie Julia responded, Miriam, what have I done that has never been done before? I am not the first. No, be only you like enjoyment now. She wasn't even remorseful for one bit. And mom had had enough. She just went to the wardrobe to pack her stuff and without even checking on us, she left the house. The worst part was Auntie Julia moved in after mom left and our home became like a barrack. When dad was home, which was briefly, all was well and calm, but when he wasn't, Auntie Julia was in charge and she was extremely stern with us and gave us no freedom. She would not let us use the machine to wash our clothes because she said it made us lazy. She would force us to pound yam with mortar and she won't even let us eat from it. She won't even let us watch TV. It was a horrible ordeal. We had to keep it from dad or face a harsher treatment from Auntie Julia. Anytime dad was free, both of them would travel for vacation to different countries. And Auntie Julia was having the time of her life. We barely saw dad. Mom wanted to see us so bad, but dad only allowed her to speak to us on the phone. He refused for her to see us. She had moved back to her family in Maiduguri and she was seriously looking for a job. However, when dad was at work, Uncle Moses, our cook, let us speak to her on his phone. She told us that our father had filed for full custody and when she gets a job, she will contest it. Trouble started when Julia kept trying for a baby and failing. She would stay in her room all day when she discovered that she wasn't pregnant and cry. She boiled herbs for dad, but he refused to drink. He told her that he was satisfied with the children that he had, and he had 3 of us. This made her upset because I heard her telling her mother on the phone, Mama, I need to have a son for him. If not, he'll still go back to Miriam. I could hear her mom gasp and speak in a different dialect, but Julia replied, Mama, he's mine. I saw him first. Don't tell me that. I tiptoed away. I didn't want her to see me, but what was the meaning of what she said? The thing is, Dad did not stop his philandering ways, and this began to bother Auntie Julia more than it did to my mom. She trailed Dad to a musical concert one day and began to wrestle the lady he was with. They came home together and she continued the argument. Dad sat in the living room and she came to meet him, still screaming, Send these children back to her. I don't want to see them here. They remind me of her. I can't stand it. And she stomped her foot on the ground. Immediately, Dad looked at her like she had grown horns. Julie, they are my children. They go nowhere. If you don't love them, then you can leave. I told you this at the beginning. She became furious. I waited for you to come back early today. I have good news for you. It's confirmed. We are having a baby. My dad looked at her in shock. What did you say? Dad asked. It could be a son, she said, with a proud smile and a hand on her tummy. Give me that result, let me see it, he said. He read the results, and then he looked at her, and then he tore the paper to pieces. What? She said. Debo, this is your child. Why would you do that? And then he said, Julia, listen to me. I will tolerate your unfaithfulness to me. What I will not tolerate is bringing a child that is not mine into this home. Go to the room this instant and pack all your things. I don't want to see you anywhere near my home. If not, I will arrest you. Why? She said. Why did you do that? He looked at her squarely and said, I had a vasectomy the night Dami was born. You have another thing coming if you believe I will accept a child that is not mine. Wow, what just happened? What did I hear? I need to check up the dictionary meaning of vasectomy. Immediately Julia left. It was as if he became born again because we started going to church regularly, and Dad was now known as Brother Debo. Dad was always home right after work. We watched cartoons together. We all marched to his bedroom to sleep on his bed, and he slept on the floor. Was this real? I was just observing. That day, he called, Biola, and he entered my room. He sat on my bed beside me. He said, I wanted to apologize to you and your sisters. Please forgive me. I have been selfish. And then he stopped, like he couldn't say more. I understood. Of course, Daddy, we forgive you. Then he said, there's something else. I waited for him to speak. I need your mom back. He looked sincere and I smiled. Dad, say no more. So we all fell sick at the same time. Dami's own was the worst. She may even start convulsing. This was the text message I left on my mom's phone. Desperate times call for desperate measures. And she called back in panic. Has your father taken you all to the hospital? What happened? Why are you all sick? And I told her, Mom, even Dad is sick too. He's in bed. It's very serious. I hope we don't all pass away. She was confused. Don't say that. But I knew she had no choice. Don't worry, I'll take the first flight to Lagos tomorrow. Make sure everyone takes lots of fluid. She panicked. Great, Mom is on the way. Mission accomplished. Dad was over the moon. The truth is, we all had a cold, but it didn't hurt to use this as an avenue to see Mom. We began to prepare the house. Dad ordered a new set of chairs for the sitting room. He had taken time off work. He had bought lots of gifts for Mom. Everywhere was cleaned. Uncle Moses made her favorite delicacy, fresh flowers in the kitchen. Dad changed his bed set. His room was looking like an executive suite in a 7-star hotel. We couldn't sleep. Mom was coming tomorrow. My father got a call as soon as she touched down in Lagos. Excitement everywhere. Dad had already sent a driver to pick her up. We all took position. Everyone under the duvet. We were all supposed to be ill. The doctor is coming, I sang to myself. Those 3 years she wasn't here felt like 10. Everywhere was quiet as she opened the door. She still had her key and she let herself in. I wish I were there to see her face. I heard her talking to Uncle Moses in the kitchen, and then she started climbing the stairs. I wanted to run out and give her a big hug, but we had to stay put. Dami was fast asleep. If not, my mother would have caught us already. Fumi was truly running temperature, so her body was warm. Mom came to our room first. She saw us. I closed my eyes and she touched Fumi's head, and she brought out her hospital bag and started treatment immediately. I was next. She gave me a sweet syrup. I told her, thank you, Mom, but Dad is ill too. And I took her hand and led her to the room she used to share with Dad. She stood in the doorway. Dad was in bed looking so sick. I almost laughed. I saw her hesitate. A flash of pain on her face was evident, but Dad stood up quickly and pulled her close. "Welcome home," he said. I went out with a smile. In the weeks that followed, Mom looked after us, but Dad seemed the sickest of all of us, as expected. He refused to take his medication, and Mom spent hours in his room trying to convince him to. There was this happiness we all felt. This seemed like the old times, only that it was better. Mom was more forgiving, more caring. Dad was just totally in love. Everyone was feeling better, but we were scared to show it. We didn't want her to leave. We missed her so much. I'm telling you, there is nothing like a mother's love. I think she didn't want to go too. One evening, as we were all in the living room, I asked with boldness, "Why did Auntie Julia say Daddy was hers first? Did she meet Daddy before you?" Mom laughed a very hearty laughter. I wasn't expecting that. I thought she'd be upset by that question. Then Dad said, "I met your mother first. It was your mother who even gave me the address to her mother's shop. But when I got to the shop, I met with Julia first. But I even asked Julia to go and call your mom, and I asked for your mom by name. But she goes around telling everybody she met me first." Mom even added, "I told her that I had met someone earlier that day, but she still stuck to the idea. I don't know what's wrong with her." And they both laughed, and Dad turned serious and said, "Light, I know you have forgiven me, but now in the presence of my children, let me say this. I know I have hurt you deeply, especially about Julia. I know I should have listened to you. I'm sorry. You see, I have changed. Please erase my wrong from your mind." I say you have changed though, Deacon Debo, and long before you have asked, I have forgiven you. The only thing that hurt me was you didn't let me go with my children. And he said, "If I let you go, would you be here? That is the only way I could find my way back into your heart. I never let you go. It was like I was not there. My parents were burying their hearts in front of us, and we were learning about forgiveness, about vulnerability, and commitment as a foundation of a good marriage. But see how things turned out. Only for Mom to wake up the next day with her box packed. I have to go. Finally, they've called me. My dream job is here. I've gotten my dream job. I have to resume next week." She looked so happy. Dad just charged, "Miriam, you are going nowhere. What of the children? What of your family? What about me?" Was that a tear on Dad's cheek? "Please, Miriam, my light, my queen, we can find work here. Please don't leave us again." I need to go, she said. "When you served me those papers, I learned something new. I need to discover myself. I need to be successful by myself. I need to grow and not to rely on you anymore." "What are you saying?" he said. "I have never complained. My light, I have never complained. I take it as a privilege for you to lean on me. Please stay. Your former job is here. We have teaching hospitals here too, waiting to receive you." Dami ran to her. "Mom, I'll go with you," she said. "But I'm not going anywhere. I am not going away permanently," she sighed. "I will always visit." And once again, she refused to be convinced, and she left. 1 month that she stayed with us became like a memory. We all moved back to Daddy's room sad. Did we not mean anything to her? How could she leave so abruptly like that? We were going to miss her all over again. But guess what? Guess who returned 3 days after she left? And this time it was permanent. I knew this because she came with her bags. We all ran to hug her. Dad looked. He was so shocked. He said quietly, "So prayers do work." Then they stared at each other, and Mom broke the silence saying, "I'm pregnant." Wow! Wait, what? Hey, my heart caught again. Please, God, not again. I was scared. How? For who? My heart screamed. Did moms have someone else? That's face. I looked, and then he broke into a smile. So it worked, he said. He started laughing and jumping. Mom was confused. Debo, what is going on? What happened to your vasectomy? Everyone is going to know that my visit here was more than just taking care of the kids. I'm so embarrassed. Miriam, my queen, my light, you know about my vasectomy. But as soon as we hatched a plan for you to return, I went to the hospital and reversed it. I never knew it would work. I never knew it to be this fast. Thank you for confirming it and welcome home, finally, my love. Mom looked surprised. Then she smiled and then she started laughing. Thank you, my love. It's good to be home. Thank you for watching till the end. If you enjoyed this story or stories like this, please subscribe, share, and like for more of my tales worth telling.